Hey everybody, my name is Kit Sparrowgrove, and if you watch the 2024 Summer Olympics, or if you keep up with equestrian sports, then you may have seen me and my horse Bluebell take bronze for Jorvik in 3-day eventing. Right now, it's just me and my cat Priscilla left at the dorm. Most students from Silverglade University have gone home for the winter. However, I'm originally from America, so I don't really have anywhere else to go in Jorvik. So I thought I might entertain myself today by filming my winter riding routine with Bluebell. Just stepped out of my dorm, although it's actually just a campus-owned house me and some friends rent from the college, and as you can see, Silverglade University campus is already decked out for Christmas, and it is freezing out here. Jorvik gets a lot of snow from December to February. Silverglade campus is kind of interesting because it's integrated with a town. So these buildings around here are ours, and then it's just the town. But that isn't what's important right now. What's important is me getting to my car without freezing to death. Bluebell is already inside because she just ate breakfast. I actually keep her and my other horse Bowie primarily pastured. So after I get her out of her stall, I bring her into the wash stall to get off any loose dirt and hair. And then we're going to go ahead and tack her up. Today I'm working on show jumping, so she wears a jumping saddle and a jumping pad and some leg wraps, and we're ready to go. So what I'm doing now is I'm just bringing Bluebell into the dressage arena. We'll have more space to warm up here than we would in the jumping arena next door, and I set up some pole work I'd like to do with her. Because Bluebell gets very stiff in the winter months, you'll definitely see her later in the video try and swerve away from poles. She's just a little bit lazy when she first gets going in the winter. I'm not sure why, because she is such an athletic horse. I do think part of it might be from her pregnancy 4 years ago, which, by the way, was such a mess, let me tell you. So, Bluebell was actually a gift from my grandparents. I went to the Jorvik Academy for high school, and if you are big in the horse world or you live on Jorvik, you know that the Jorvik Academy is one of those fancy boarding schools that kind of caters to kids in the equestrian world, kids who do like pretty high-level shows and travel a lot, and they kind of cater the school year around that so that they can still get the right education while also furthering their riding career. I went on a scholarship. I was not as rich as many of my classmates. So they went to this high-end, reputable Dutch warm-blood breeder, and they bought Bluebell. And they're not horse people, so they didn't know that they should have done a pre-vet check with an independently hired vet before they paid for her. They just trusted the facility. And I don't really think anyone can blame that on them because, like I said, they had a very good reputation. They were known as a trustworthy breeder. And so Bluebell came back to the Jorvik Academy, and just like 2 weeks later, my trainer and I noticed some weird behaviors. So we called a vet down, and the vet did all these tests and an ultrasound, and Bluebell was about 3 months pregnant at the time. Around that mark, it has been 4 years, so it may not be exact there. And so my trainer called the facility and raised hell because that meant she had been around a stallion and that had not been disclosed. What had happened was at the facility, a stallion had gotten into the mare's pen, which happened to have Bluebell in it. And the people at the facility said that they didn't think it had been very long and it didn't seem like anything had happened, so they did not disclose it. So I was 15 with a pregnant mare. Obviously, I stopped riding her once we knew. My trainer let me ride her thoroughbred Bowie, and I actually fell so in love with him that I bought him off of her my senior year of high school. So that's why I have two horses. I also have Bowie. And Bluebell gave birth to a colt, and we named him Ranger. And he will be turning 4 in January. And my trainer and I made a contract because I was only 15 and not equipped to take care of a foal, where she keeps him in her care and pays for him fully until I graduate college in 2 years. And I'm going to start working with him in the spring because he'll be old enough and developed enough to start his saddle training. And it's not like Ranger has been kept from me. I see him all the time. He only lives 25 minutes away down at the Baroness's racetrack facility, which is even more prestigious than the Silverglade Equestrian Center. And he's very fun. He's a very big, goofy horse. I'm very excited to see how his career will go. I think he'll be a great eventer, just like his mother. But yeah, I mean, that was like a big story here on Jorvik and in the equestrian world because, like I said, this was such a high-level breeder. Like, people imported horses from them because they're just so well known. And I believe they rebranded, but they're definitely nowhere near the same level anymore. Which it's on one hand it's kind of sad, but on the other hand they did deserve it. So now that I've yapped about Bluebell's pregnancy story, I'm going to go ahead and take her over to the show jumping ring, and we're going to start doing some jumps. I start her over 2 small jumps, and then once she has her confidence up with that, I take her over some bigger jumps, and as you can see, she's not nearly as stiff as she was over in the dressage arena. She loves to jump, and now that she's really warmed up, I'm not worried about her refusing or anything like that, so that's why I always get in good flat work. And then after that, I just do a few small courses with Bluebell over the bigger jumps. So I'll go ahead and I'll play some of what we did now with some music in the background. We're done jumping, I make sure to give Bluebell a really good cool down around the jumping arena. We're just gonna walk at a nice slow pace. I think cooling down is something a lot of riders overlook because it's not a lot of fun and you're about as tired as your horse. But I think it's a really good time to bond with your horse, and it's really important to make sure that your horse hasn't been overworked. So I really pay attention to Bluebell's cues here. And now that we've trekked all the way back through the snow and back to the stable, I'm going to go ahead and get all of Bluebell's tack off, then brush her down. Bluebell is pretty sweaty, so I have a good bit of work to do, and it is way too cold to shower her, especially since I'm going to turn her out when I'm done. So I just take a towel that's been damped in some warm water, and I kind of give her a warm towel down. Finally back from the barn, I am freezing. I'm going to take a nice hot shower after all of this, and then I'm going to make sure to feed Priscilla so she doesn't kill me in my sleep. She is a very picky cat. Let me know what else you'd like to see on this channel. I think my next video will probably be focused on Bowie since he didn't get much screen time today. Let me know what other kinds of things you'd like to see, though. It can be anything. I could introduce Bluebell's son at one point, Ranger, especially since I will be training him soon, so let me know. All right, bye.